Did Barack Obama's birth certificate use modern names for African Americans, Kenya, and the birth hospital instead of the names used when the former U.S. president was born in 1961? No, that's not true, contrary to a letter circulating for years on social media raising questions about the legitimacy of the long-form birth certificate released by the White House in 2011. It did not use any names not in use in 1961. The story apparently originated with a viral email written by a lawyer in 2011 raising 4 simple questions about Obama's birth certificate, and it lives on years later, including a post where it was published as a meme shared on May 22, 2018 under the title "Do the Math." People actually have been murdered for trying to get this info out. It opened, quote, 1. Back in 1961 people of color were called Negroes, so how can the Obama birth certificate state he is African American when the term wasn't even used at the time? 2. The birth certificate that the White House released lists Obama's birth as August 4, 1961 and lists Barack Hussein Obama as his father? No big deal, right? At the time of Obama's birth, it also shows that his father is aged 25 years old, and that Obama's father was born in Kenya, East Africa. This wouldn't seem like anything of concern, except the fact that Kenya did not even exist until 1963, 2 whole years after Obama's birth, and 27 years after his father's birth. How could Obama's father have been born in a country that did not yet exist? Up and until Kenya was formed in 1963, it was known as the British East Africa Protectorate. End quote. Users on social media only saw this title, description and thumbnail. None of the lawyer's conclusions about his 4 simple questions are accurate. First, there is no reference on the document to the baby Obama being African American. It does list his father, Barack Hussein Obama, as African and his mother as Caucasian. Those were contemporary terms in 1961. See it for yourself below, and if you can spit the African American reference that our staff missed, please email us at tips@ledstories.com. The lawyer contends that listing Obama's father's birthplace as Kenya, East Africa, is a red flag showing the birth certificate was fake because Kenya did not even exist until 1963. Yes, the area was a British colony at the time, but it was named the Kenya Colony. Let's use the lawyer's own source. He wrote, check it below, with a link to Kenya's Wikipedia page, which says, quote, the modern-day Kenya emerged from a protectorate established by the British Empire in 1895 and the subsequent Kenya Colony, which began in 1920. End quote. Kenya was a 1961 name for the elder Obama's birthplace and also in use when he was born there 25 years earlier. This is not an indication the document was faked. The third question raised by the lawyer's letter. Quote, 3. On the birth certificate released by the White House, the listed place of birth is Kapiolani Maternity and Amp, Gynecological Hospital. This cannot be, because the hospitals in question in 1961 were called Kawakealani Children's Hospital and Kapiolani Maternity Home, respectively. The name did not change to Kapiolani Maternity and Amp, Gynecological Hospital until 1978, when these 2 hospitals merged. How can this particular name of the hospital be on a birth certificate dated 1961 if this name had not yet been applied to it until 1978? End quote. The lawyer has it backward. The hospital name was not changed to Kapiolani Maternity and Amp, Gynecological Hospital in 1978. It was changed from Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Amp, Children to Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Amp, Children in 1978. It had been called Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Amp, Children starting in 1931. Again, let's use the same source this lawyer references, only let's not read it in reverse, the hospital's current parent company website. Quote, concerned about the welfare of Hawaii's mothers and babies, Queen Kapiolani founded the Kapiolani Maternity Home in 1890. She worked tirelessly traveling the islands holding bazaars, luau and other events and benefits to raise the $8,000 needed. Over the years, the home expanded its services from labor and delivery to providing other health care services for women. In 1909, Albert and Emma Kawakealani Wilcox donated the funds to open Kawakealani Children's Hospital, a hospital for Hawaii's children envisioned by Dr. James R. Judd and Sanford Dole. Concerned that 2 of every 7 infants in Hawaii did not live to see their first birthday, the community rallied to match the Wilcoxes' gift. In its first full year of operation, the hospital admitted 354 pediatric patients with an average length of stay of 19 days.